Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to show you how I package up my cutting and charcuterie boards, why I think an unboxing experience matters, and go through the process of how I package these up step by step. If you want to see me play with my package, stick around. To start off, you may be asking yourself why you would even put anything in a retail box. And the simplest answer I can give to you is everybody else is doing it. The reason I put everything into a retail box, a shipping box really, but a retail box, and take care to package it nicely is because you can gain yourself a lifetime customer and improve the level of satisfaction for a product that you sell, if you're selling it, or a gift, if there is what I call an unboxing experience. Some people don't care about that. There's a large portion of people that do. I know personally, like for technology, if I receive a piece of technology and it's very well packaged, it has nice packaging, it's encased in something that's maybe molded to fit the product, if there's instructions or anything I might need readily available, if it's properly branded, all of that stuff, it makes me trust the brand a little bit more before I've even started to decide if the product's even a good product. If the product ends up being something I like, I'm more likely to buy something else from that company. For my cutting boards and charcuterie boards, because they're all similarly sized as far as length and width, just varying thicknesses, I put everything in this box, and from the outside, it's fairly plain Jane. This one happens to be 12.5 deep, 19 wide, and 3.5 tall. I chose this box because it fits most sizes of boards that I create, and it will accommodate any thickness of board I create up to 3 inches. And it'll still allow me to get some packing material in there. The next step I take is to add crinkle paper. This crinkle paper I actually bought from Uline. It's fairly inexpensive. I think I paid $70 maybe. That does sound expensive actually, now that I say it out loud. But you get like a 20-pound box. And because this stuff is so light, 20 pounds or whatever it ended up being, compressed into a box is a lot of fill. It will go a very long way. It'll last a long time. They do have smaller packages. I just chose to go with the bigger package because it was an overall better deal. So I give my boards a nice bed of this to lay on. You don't have to do this, but again, I'm trying to create an experience. And even if you don't have the most expensive product on the market, you want to give them whatever you can to raise the perceived value of the product. The next step is to put this hardwood into a wrapper. Don't put your hardwood into M&M or Lil Wayne. Put it into a piece of packing paper. This happens to be 12 inches wide. You can get a cheap roll of it at Walmart for like $5. I wrap this up so that it feels like you're kind of opening a present. And the kinds of people that buy products like this, either for gifts or for themselves, are going to enjoy opening this up as if it were a gift to them. So to wrap this up, we're going to set the board somewhere around the middle. Wrap one side over, followed by the other side. I don't like the ugly edge, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that straight. And I seal that together with a branded sticker to keep that on. Once you have your hardwood wrapped up like college night parties, we can go ahead and put that in our package. And it fits in there very nicely. But we got one more thing we're going to do. This is a cutting board maintenance card. It works for cutting and charcuterie boards. It goes over washing and refinishing your board if you need to, applying wax essentially. I provide this with every board that I sell in the box. It may not mean much to the customers and they may just toss it away. I don't know. But this is the kind of thing that I would look for when I bought a product to see if they provided some sort of care instructions, if it was something that I bought that I intended to keep for a lifetime. I do combine this on the back with my contact info, a QR code, and my info to get a hold of my business. And I put these again in each one of these boxes in hopes that they'll remember me for future purchases. Or they'll keep this around and see it in a drawer one day when they're going to put new wax on their board and say, hey, I need to reach out to this guy and get some finishing materials, or I'd like to buy a gift for a friend, or whatever that looks like. So I do include one of these in every box. Sometimes I will also include a secondary or 2 or 3 business cards in the box as well. Now you can choose to end there, or you can continue personalizing this a little bit more. On this particular box, I do have a thank you for supporting my small business sticker there. Sometimes I will put my branded business sticker on the front. I do have a sticker that links to my socials. I have a sticker with a barcode for leaving reviews. I will put those sometimes on the packages depending on how they're going out. I would love to have a full branded box, but for the amount I charge for these at this time, I'm not able to justify the cost of paying for the printing of a custom box, or even a colored box for that matter. So that's why I chose to go with these. So you can start small, and as you scale up, you can get better with your packaging and provide more premium packaging as the value of your items goes up. Thank you everybody for sticking around to the end. Hopefully some of you got a little bit of value out of this, had a little laugh. That's kind of what I go for here. Little value, little laugh. If you'd like more content like this, leave a like and subscribe. Other than that, if you'd like to hold my package in your hand, reach out to my website and make an order. I'll catch you on the next one.